Brisca Formula 2 stock car racing returns to Skegness Raceway in Lincolnshire on a fine, sunny October Saturday, and almost 50 cars are here ready to do battle on the tarmac oval alongside the national mini stocks. We'll see them out later on contesting their biggest race of the season, the National Championship, for their gold roof. But first of all, we focus on the Brisca Formula 2's two heats with half the cars here in each of them. First 10 finishers in each one go through to the grand final, the rest into the Consolation. There is Rob Speak, the former 8 times world champion, now the promoter here at Skegness Raceway, racing car number 218 tonight. Other names to look out for in this one include the Silver Top, the National Series champion from last year, Luke Wrench in number 560, also Liam Bentham number 488, Aaron Vates number 184, young gun Tristan Claydon in 210. Number 9, Harley Thacker, what a great 2019 season he had. Plenty of lady racers here tonight as well. Good to see Jess Ward up at Red Top in this race. She's had a couple of wins from White Grade here this season. The White Graders lead them off. It's Jack White, number 182, and 376 of Daz Seneschal on the front of the grid for 16 laps for the Brisca Formula 2s. The first 10 go through to the meeting final. The green light is on and we are underway in the sunset here at Skegness in front of a sizable crowd. Plenty of push and shove early on in the midfield in this one. Watch for Rob Speak coming through. There's the Silver Top, number 560, Luke Wrench. Won that in a huge battle at Bellevue at the end of last season. 53 of Philip Mann slowing up there on the outside. Looks like he's out of it. So the White Graders set the early pace. Then it's 376 of Daz Seneschal, who's got the early lead ahead of, in second place, 177. That is Chris Masters. Third place looks like Josh Vickers in the 446 car. Big hit going in there from Rob Speak. He is carving his way through the rest of the field. The 291 car gets fired in there of Dan Baker. It won't be long before Speaky is on the tail of the leaders here, I don't think. Racer turned promoter. He's been world champion in Brisca F2 8 times over. He's been Brisca F1 world champion as well. He's won races in saloon stock cars too. Liam Bentham trying to make his way through there on the inside. There's Luke Wrench going 3 wide. Somebody else into the wall there. One of the white tops. We'll try and identify that in a moment. Chris Masters going again in car 177 in second place. He's well behind the 376 of Daz Seneschal, who continues to set the pace here at Skegness. But Rob Speak is already up into third, being chased there by one of the yellow graders. I think that's 359 Gary Wrench in behind him, uncle of Luke Wrench. Rob Speak now past Chris Masters up into second position, passing a couple of stranded cars on turns 3 and 4. Surely this is Rob's race to lose now. Ben Lockwood chasing him, and Josh Vickers has been spun out in the 446. Throws it into reverse there, coming out of turn 2. Sort of reverse racing the order of the day for Josh, as a big hit goes in from Luke Wrench there on the back of Liam Bentham in car number 488. The car that's stuck on the turn there is Jamie Jones, number 915. Stationary yellow flag out just to warn the drivers that car is there. It's still Daz Seneschal with the lead. We're just past halfway in this heat number 1 for the Brisca Formula 2 stock cars here at Skegness Raceway. Rob Speak is looking to catch him though, second place at the moment. Closing in on the rear bumper of Daz Seneschal. Third place is Ben Lockwood, number 618. We've seen him have a go in the Brisca F1s this season, and Jason McDonald gets walloped straight into the back of Jamie Jones there, the 387 car. Didn't see who put the bumper in. Talking of putting the bumper in, Rob Speak has done just that to Daz Seneschal to take the lead. 387 of McDonald gets going again, having been dispatched there on turn 4. It's Ben Lockwood in second place. He's got through ahead of Daz Seneschal. They're coming up on some back marker traffic now, but the yellow flags are out. Caution is out, slowing the field down with possibly Jamie Jones in a spot of bother there. Yeah, he's stuck on turn 4, got hit by Jason McDonald as the bumper went in on Jason, putting him into the back of the 915. So just to check on Jamie Jones there, the race brought under caution with Rob Speak, your leader. Ben Lockwood second, Daz Seneschal is third. This could be disaster for Daz, because he could drop back further on this restart. Looks like Billy Webster, number 226, is in fourth place. I think it might be Harley Thacker, number 9, the young gun, next in the order. His brother Jordan also races F2s. I'm not sure Jordan's out tonight though. Green flag goes down, we're back underway. Slightly messy in the pack there on that restart. There's Harley Thacker, number 9. He's got David Shearing, number 564, the blue top, behind him. Rob Speak leads him off on this restart ahead of Ben Lockwood. Then coming through into third is Billy Webster. Daz Seneschal gets pushed out onto the wide line. He'll drop down the order, trying to keep in that top 10 and get a final place. Don't forget the first 10 finishers go through, the rest go into the consolation race. David Shearing under fire now, 488 Liam Bentham going through on the inside. Looks like Aaron Vates in 184 has already gone through. Harley Thacker's in there as well, he lost out slightly on the restart. There is Vates, number 184 at the front of this group. Chasing Luke Wrench in 560, he's in 4th place, behind Lockwood and Webster. Daz Seneschal battling with Jessica Smith, number 390, the daughter of the former Brisca F1 world champion Andy Smith, granddaughter of the legendary Stuart Smith Sr., who most agree is the greatest stock car racer of all time. Just a couple of laps to go then here on the Skegness tarmac. It's looking good for Rob Speak in this heat number 1. Bit of a battle further back, 210. Tristan Claydon on the attack on the back of Jess Ward in the 86 car. Jason McDonald in behind them. Oh, Seneschal getting spun out. That's bad luck for Daz Seneschal. Driven such a good race, led for much of the way. A couple of other cars pulling in there to the centre, but we're on the last bend now. Ben Lockwood is not going to attack Rob Speak, and the racer and promoter comes in to win heat number 1. 2nd place for Ben Lockwood. We'll confirm the rest of the finishing positions in a moment, but the great Rob Speak adds another win to his seemingly endless tally of victories. We'll confirm the top 10 qualifiers in a moment, but no problem there at all for Rob Speak. He carved his way through the field in the early stages, holding off the late attack from Ben Lockwood in 618, who has won a final here at Skegness this season. He'll be in the final tonight and looking for a second. But Rob Speak, the man who's won in saloon stock cars, F2s, Brisca F1s, ASCAR Days of Thunder series on the big oval at Rockingham in the past as well. He's won titles in bangers too. Really is one of the great talents of UK oval racing, and now a popular promoter as well. Has done a lot to improve facilities here at Skegness Raceway over the last few months, and now he heads around his own track on a lap of honour in his Brisca Formula 2. We'll check out the results of that one in just a second. No problem at all for Rob Speak taking the win. 2nd place went to Ben Lockwood. Apologies for the lack of live timing tonight, incidentally. Luke Wrench in 3rd place ahead of Billy Webster and Aaron Vates. Harley Thacker behind them then. Liam Bentham, David Shearing, Jessica Smith gets in, and Tristan Claydon rounds out the top 10. They go through to tonight's meeting final.
F2, Heat 1 winner. It's been a while since we said this, but 218 Rob Speak.
Yeah, it's been a good few years, hasn't it? Yeah, I didn't think there was one left in there.
We said when the race was stopped on the yellow flags, it'd be a brave man that comes past Robert now.
Well, they'd have had to get the bumper, wouldn't they? No, the car was going good, you know, just altered it again, and so, yeah, all credit to the team who's altered it.
You had a win in the saloons the other week as well. You must be the first man to win in 1s, 2s and saloons.
No, I don't think so. Everyone kept saying that, but I think Todd Jones has done it, so I don't think I'll be the first man, so...
Well, it's a very short list at least.
Yeah, it's a short list. It's a good one to be on, isn't it?
Hopefully you're going to carry on this form for the rest of the night as well. It's entertaining to watch.
Well, I hope so. We'll just get going. That's all it's about, just entertaining.
Brilliant, Rob. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The other half of the entry now on track, another 24 cars for heat number 2. Names to look out for in this one include 2 drivers battling for the lead of the National Points Championship at the moment. John Palmer, number 24, 38 Dave Polly. We've got 998 Graham Fegan from Northern Ireland. And Gordon Moody's car is out on track, the world champion. But Gordon is not driving it. He's done a car swap tonight with Brisca F1 star Ryan Harrison. So Gordon's in Ryan's F1. Ryan is in Gordon's Formula 2. Number 197 is the number to look out for in this race. Let's see how flying Ryan Harrison gets on in a Brisca F2. There's Dave Polly. Great form on the shale at Kings Lynn this season. Other names to watch for include Charlie Ginchard, last year's Novice of the Year. Harley Burns, the 16-year-old sensation in 992. Also Tim Bailey, number 817. In among the lower graders, you can see Scotsman Paul Reed, number 17. 342 Rob Jacklin, taking a step down from Brisca F1. Plenty of talented lower grades as well. There's Paul Reed, just going through the yellow car, number 17. 844 is Jack Prosser. Also we've got 161 Ben Bates from Birmingham. 200 Amy Webster, she's in among the blue tops, another of the leading ladies of Brisca F2. Got Emma Ford out there as well in among the white grey, but in pole position looks like it's the 423 of Neil Darby. Racing alongside on the front row 881, that's Jamie Ward Scott. Jamie was an organiser of the Brisca Formula 2 E-Series during the lockdown period. Some of the drivers racing online, it was Dutchman Challe Rijdanus, I believe, who came out on top in that series. It's a bit of online racing for the Formula 2s. We're back to real life racing here at Skegness. This is heat number 2, 16 laps the distance, and it is number 881, Jamie Ward-Scott, who will lead them away. Ahead of Neil Darby in the 423, 224 Paul Dobson sprints through up the inside. That looks like one of Anthony Riley's cars as he's racing up into second place. Through into third comes Emma Ford in the 130 car. I don't think there's many of the Ford family that haven't raced Brisca F2 over the years. There's Charlie Ginchard and Harley Burns, former rivals in the National Mini Stocks. We've got a spinner there, and he's been clobbered. That was the 711 car of Michael Hardy that spun. It was one of the blue graders that hit him. I think it was Josh Weir in 736. But it's Jamie Ward-Scott, number 881, who leads the way. His dad, Sean Ward, used to race under the same number. 224 in second place. That is Paul Dobson. There's Ben Bate in the pink car, number 161. Very successful ORCI mini stocks racer, the Flying Brummie. Neil Darby drops back in 423. Vastly experienced campaigner. There is number 24 of John Palmer, just passing the spun car of 711 there, Michael Hardy. Now, John Palmer, we saw a bit of wallop straight in between him and Gordon Moody at the last meeting here at Skegness, but Gordon not racing tonight, so John can concentrate on going for the win. 730 John Holden gets lapped there by our leader Jamie Ward-Scott. In goes the bumper from John Palmer on Charlie Ginchard. That's taken out Michael Wallbank in the 524 car as well. We've got a slow car on the back straight. Oh, and he's been collected. Oh dear, we've got cars going everywhere. That's Jack Prosser, Josh Weir, Tim Bailey's involved as well. Now, I've had Jack Prosser spun there, I think. The caution is out. Tim Bailey won't be restarting. Look at his rear wheel. Tyre right off the rim. I think Jack Prosser had spun there, and everybody else had nowhere to go on the back straight. Oh, we've got a tangle here as well. 200 of Amy Webster, 130 Emma Ford involved. So a couple of the ladies have tangled up there on the turn. Caution out to check on Jack Prosser in car number 844. He was another stalwart of that E-Series that we mentioned earlier in the year. Let's have a look again at what happened here. We saw John Palmer put the bumper in on Charlie Ginchard. That fired Michael Wallbank into a half spin, but the problem was further round. I think Jack Prosser had just slowed up and everybody else had nowhere to go. Charlie Ginchard is the other car that's crashed in there, and they were stuck together on the back straight. So Jamie Ward-Scott in a Daz Kitson built car leads the way. Paul Dobson still second. We're not quite up to halfway yet in this heat number 1 for the Brisca F2s. It's Dan Roots, number 776, in third place. Nearly all the Roots family have raced Brisca F2s over the years, and super stocks as well. Tony Roots, Chris Roots, Nick Roots, and now Dan as well. They've all used similar numbers, all 6s and 7s, you could say their numbers have been. Dan Roots is ready to attack for the lead here. Jamie Ward-Scott in 881 will lead them away, but Dan up into second in the traditional Roots family colours of bright green into second place. Third is the 251. That is Craig Driscoll now as Roots takes the lead coming out of turn 2. So Dan Roots it is who leads the way from Jamie Ward-Scott, who gets sent wide in there by one of the blue tops. That's Ben Bates coming through in 161, the man from Birmingham. Said earlier, very successful in the ORCI mini stocks at the likes of Wheels Park in Birmingham, Hinsford and Northampton as well. 38 Dave Polly in the midfield. There's Graham Fegan, the Northern Irish visitor in car number 998, a former European champion. But Ben Bate is going for the lead here in car number 161. More action further back. There's Graham Fegan under fire from 992 Harley Burns, only 16 years old. First season in Brisca F2 and he's already up to red top. Roots leads from Bates, and now here comes John Palmer, Mr. Box Office as he's known. Certainly a very hard-hitting and at times controversial racer is the man from Devon. Wallops the bumper in on the back of Ben Bate there, going for second place. There's a stationary yellow out there with a car that's had a spin. One of the white graders, can't quite see who it is. Leaders have got through no problem on the inside. John Palmer trying to gear up for an attack for the lead now. Dave Polly's up to fourth, and it's Craig Driscoll, Graham Fegan, Harley Burns, then it's Ryan Harrison. We've not seen much of Flying Ryan so far at the wheel of world champion Gordon Moody's car. I'll tell you, Gordon came out in Ryan's Formula 1 in Brisca F1 Heat 1 tonight, and he took the win. Great stuff from Gordon Moody. See him back in his F2 next time out, of course. Dan Roots continues to lead with just a few laps to go now, but John Palmer is looming large in his mirror. Ben Bates still in third, but here comes Dave Polly as well in the 38. There's Ryan Harrison in the 197 car. Well, Brisca F1 national points champion, son of former world champion Murray Harrison in the F1s. Ben Roots is being reeled in now by John Palmer. Here comes the bumper in from Mr. Box Office in the 24, sends him wide, goes through into the lead. 6-1 of Ben Bate will try for second place now, get second place back again, no problem at all. Dave Polly's going to come through as well in the 38, another former national points champion. And Roots goes down to 4th, looks like he will qualify for the final tonight. They go into the final lap of heat number 2 here on the Skegness tarmac. Dave Polly is going to try for second place, but it's going to be a win for number 24, the man from Devon, John Palmer, round the final turn to the checkered flag. Palmer wins it, Bates holds on for second, just ahead of Dave Polly, and the rest of them come home across the line. We'll confirm the top 10 in a moment. We know our top 3. Well done to John Palmer. No crash bang wallop in the midfield this time. He was playing games with his big rival Gordon Moody last time out here at Skegness, but able to get on with the winning this time. And just as well too, because Palmer is going for the National Points Championship this year. We'll see if he's got the lead at the end of tonight here at Skegness Raceway. We'll confirm the official results as soon as we can. Palmer heads round on his lap of honour then. You can see on the front of his aerofoil there, Mr. Box Office. A name that's been applied to a couple of drivers over the years, but John certainly an entertainer. Always provides plenty of talking points. Can be controversial at times, but always an entertainer is Mr. Palmer. He'll go through to the meeting final, as will these drivers. Ben Bate taking second, just ahead of Dave Polly, and Harley Burns leading home Graham Fegan, the Northern Irishman, for 4th place. Dan Roots, a good 6th, who led a few laps. Luke Beeson taking 7th from Blue Grade, ahead of Michael Walbank despite a spin midway through. Craig Driscoll and Paul Dobson rounding out the top 10 in heat number 2 for the Brisca Formula 2s.
Heat 2 winner, 24, John Palmer, on form this season.
Yeah, been going well. Found a little bit of form again in the last couple of meetings as well, because we dipped a little bit, but changed a few things on the car, and it's quite easy to drive.
You're up there in the points as well this time round. You're having a good year, you're doing well, but you're getting stuck in as well.
Yeah, I always try to get stuck in, that's what it's about, but obviously with COVID and that, it's all a bit all over the place. Not everyone's racing, so I'm leading the points at the moment, but there's probably only half of the country racing, but I'm still doing the job, yeah, getting it done.
And of course your best mate Gordon's out in a Formula 1 tonight, so who's your playmate tonight?
Yeah, I was hoping to come here and get rid of some unfinished business with him, but he hasn't turned up. He's racing in Formula 1. I would have liked for him to have been racing tonight, but like I say, he's not. So whoever I come across, really, they got to have it, and it's racing.
That's what we want to see.
Yeah. Right, thanks, mate. Cheers.
Good luck for the final.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Now time for the Consolation race. These are the drivers that didn't make it into the top 10 in the heats. Another 24 cars out there. We are missing a couple that were eligible. No Ryan Harrison, unfortunately, so whether there's been a problem with the Gordon Moody car, I'm not sure. We're also missing John Holden, Michael Hardy and Jack Prosser after his shunt in his heat earlier on in heat 2. Drivers we have got out there, Charlie Ginchard, who was caught in the pile-up with Jack Prosser in his heat. Jason McDonald, Tim Bailey and Jess Ward are the red tops rather. Blue Graders, we've got Amy Webster, Jack Isick, number 103, Josh Weir and Ben Germany, number 190 as well. The front of the grid, we've got Josh Vickers in the 446 there, 376 Daz Seneschal. He was unlucky in his heat, spun out with a couple of laps to go while in a qualifying place. Jamie Jones is there in 915. Yellow Graders headed up by the number 17 of Paul Reed. Philip Mann, who was an early retirement in his heats. So 16 laps then, another 10 to qualify for the final. We're underway. White Graders lead the charge down towards turn 1. Oh, Josh Vickers has lost it. He's in trouble. He's in real trouble. He's tangled up there with the 177 of Chris Masters. They go into the wall on turn 1. Not the start they were looking for. I don't think there'll be any final for them tonight. Meanwhile, the bumpers start to go in among the yellow and blue graders as they begin to overlap. Ben Spence, number 903 there. The white grader in the middle has dropped back already. It's Daz Seneschal who has the early lead in car number 376 ahead of Jamie Jones in the 915. Third place is 182 of Jack White, so the white graders holding sway at the front at the moment. Paul Reed is the first yellow top, first blue. Looks like Amy Webster in car number 200. Seneschal leads the way, but I think we've got caution flags. Indeed we have. The yellows are out, presumably because of those two cars stranded on turn number 1. Josh Vickers and Chris Masters, who tangled coming into the opening lap. So the pack comes to a halt at the start line. Jamie Ward-Scott there in 4th place, number 881. Expert in online racing, thanks again to his help with the E-Series, which kept many drivers sane during lockdown. Well, there you can see the problem. Broken suspension for Josh Vickers, and 177 of Chris Masters, the man he tangled with, stuck in the fence on turn 1, the heavy artillery being brought in to clear them. See again what happened. Vickers on the outside as they came down the home straight, just got sideways as he passed the starter's rostrum, spun it, bounced off the 177, a late assist from Jack White, and wallop straight in they went. End of game for both of those cars. Marshals and recovery teams have got them clear. Thanks again to our marshalling team here at Skegness. We could not go racing without them. Daz Seneschal with the lead ahead of Jamie Jones and Jack White. There's Ben Germany in the red car, number 190. Reese Winch, number 411 behind him. Amy Webster in the 200, tangle with Emma Ford in her heats. There's Gary Wrench in 359, Luke's uncle. Behind him 342, Rob Jacklin. We've seen him in V8 Hot Stocks and Brisca F1 in the past, stepping down to F2 for this season. F2's great entertainers in their own right, as we've seen so many times. We're back underway then with this consolation race. Paul Reed with a good restart there, the Scotsman in number 17. Under fire from Ben Germany from the southwest in number 190. Jason McDonald getting the bumper in there. 86 in the middle of that, Jess Ward as well. Great to see Jess up at red top. There's Emma Ford, number 130 as well. So many ladies in this race, and wallop straight in goes one of them. 86, Jess Ward, but she gets going again. Didn't see who put the bumper in there. 53 of Philip Mann chasing Tim Bailey. He's put a new rear wheel on his car following that tangle in the heat. Probably a bit of suspension that needed replacing there as well. Tim Bailey, another ex-ORC mini stocks racer, was a rival of Ben Bate in the past. Now rivals in the Brisca F2. It's Ben Bate already in the final, of course. Jamie Jones loses out there to Jack White. That's the battle for 2nd place. But up the road by a few car lengths is Daz Seneschal. But if you had to pick a favourite out of this field, it would probably be Charlie Ginchard, the only superstar grader in this race. Got caught in that pile-up started by Jack Prosser's errant car in his heat. Never seems to have much luck with Charlie Ginchard. He won the Novice of the Year title last season, though. The gap is beginning to come down. 182 Jack White is catching Daz Seneschal. Battle is on for 3rd place. Is that Ginchard, who's through already into 3rd? We'll pick that up in a moment. We look at a few battles further down the field. There's Jamie Jones dropping back. Jess Ward fighting back after she got fenced earlier on. And yes, that is Ginchard there in 3rd place. He's torn through the field like a tornado, and he's up into 2nd place now. Past the 182 of Jack White, up behind our race leader Daz Seneschal. It's surely only a matter of time now. We're only just over halfway. A spin there in the pack for one of the yellow graders. We'll identify that in a moment as Ginchard attacks for the lead, goes through and takes up the running. Charlie Ginchard, the former National Mini Stocks Gold Top, won many honours in his Mini Stocks days. He's looking to perhaps move up to Brisca F1 someday, but he's had so much success in the F2s, he may well decide to stick with them. To see what Charlie's plans are for 2021 and beyond. Looks like it's Jason McDonald up in 3rd place now in the 387. He's going well. It's the Green Recycling sponsored 183 car who holds the lead. Looking good for Charlie Ginchard for a race victory. Let's see if he can make it a consolation and final double later on as well. Sparks flying there as Paul Reed takes a hit from the 200 of Amy Webster, and a spin, double spin. 903. Ben Spence is one of them. The other is Rob Jacklin in 342. Formation spinning there on turn 4. Everybody going wide to miss them. There's only a couple of laps to go now in this consolation race. Charlie Ginchard coming up to lap the 379 car. It's Dale Seneschal who goes a lap down. Used to be number 482. Changed his number since I last saw him race. The 130 of Emma Ford about to be lapped as well. Looking good here for Charlie Ginchard. Just a couple of laps to go. Yellow flag is out there. We've lost somebody on the turn. It's Tim Bailey, number 817. No final for him tonight, sadly. The run from Derbyshire. 183 of Charlie Ginchard is going to get through. He's going to win this consolation event. He's well clear of his opposition. Here he comes around turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Charlie Ginchard takes the consolation by a clear margin. I'll tell you the exact margin, of course. There's a tangle there on the final turn. More cars racing the line. We've got another tangle here, and wallop, straight in we go. Who's that? Jess Ward and I think Amy Webster. My goodness, that was a big hit there going into turn 1. Let's hope Jess Ward's okay. I think she has qualified for the final. I think both of those drivers got in over the line in the top 10, but now they might not have anything to race with. Those cars can't be repaired. Jess Ward, look at the front suspension. Let's hope Jess is all right. That was a big hit there into the Armco on the run into turn 1. Charlie Ginchard, meanwhile, has won it. Saw a tangle behind. And then Ward and Webster locked together over the line and just suddenly turned right. I don't know what happened there. There's our winner. 183 Charlie Ginchard heads round on his lap of honour. We'll confirm the 10 qualifiers for the meeting final. Hopefully we'll be able to see all 30 of them out there for our feature race of the night in part 2 of our programme.